So, hi, Eric. Thanks for taking some time to speak with me today.
Of course, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. If there's any weird background noises, I apologize in advance because that's my dog making some funny shit.
Hey, same. I got my dog out here.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. She's like sitting right in front of me, like watching me, being like, "Okay, which mischief can I cause today?"
Yeah, I got neighbors got chickens, so every now and then she's gonna run over there and bark at the chickens. Yeah.
I see. So, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Fine, wonderful. So, True Power was released on Friday. You had the whole weekend to take it in to celebrate. Did you guys have time to celebrate together as a band, or?
Not too much yet. We have a little party planned for Thursday. We're getting together with some friends and family and celebrating. But yeah, this weekend we've been rehearsing, getting ready for tour. Had some friends over the other night and had some whiskey and played some cards. But other than that, just been working.
I see. So are you happy so far with the response from the fans?
So far, it's great. I see, from the few times I've looked, seen a lot of positive comments. And I think I think some of my favorite ones are, "I'm so confused. What is this?" on certain songs. But that's awesome. I'd rather someone want to listen to the song 2 or 3 times to get into it than just go, "Oh yeah, it's all right."
Right. It's about diversity and having like different flavors on the course.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you guys went from Trauma to True Power. Fill me in. How was the process?
Well, we were in the middle of our European tour in 2020, I believe it was, and everything shut down, and we came home. Weren't sure if things were going to pick up and open back up. And after a couple months, we realized, well, this is probably how it's going to be for a while. So we just started writing the new record. And since we didn't have any like end dates in sight or any tours really solidly booked without getting, pushed back and canceled, we decided, like I said, just to write, and had all this time to do it. And I really think that helped this record become what it is, because we had, like I said, no deadlines, but we could live with these changes, and we could live with these things we were trying, these sounds that we're trying, these different directions, and really live with them for weeks on end, and go back in the studio and change them, and really live with these ideas.
Mm-hmm. So, were there any differences in writing and recording pandemic? Did you guys change anything, or did you just buckled up into a room, shut down the doors, and just went into the music lab?
It was more so of just buckling down. We would do a month at a time or a couple weeks at a time, then come home for a couple weeks, or have our producer come out to Michigan here for a couple weeks and work on these demos, up until we would go from intro to verse to the first chorus, and then we kind of had an idea where the song was going, and then we just hop onto another song and then another song, and that way the record could kind of grow together. And all these weird changes and different sounds we were trying all felt unique, but they felt like they were on the same record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I apologize. 1 second. Lily, get over here. Come here. Leave them chickens alone. It's ridiculous.
I feel it. It's like the dog parents stigma. We all have come here again.
Get over there. Go lay down.
Oh, such a cutie.
Yeah. Hey,
so,
lay down.
Yeah. It sounds like you have been marinating this record and putting on the spices, and it's very well seasoned. It's so well done. Compared to Trauma, were there any different influences? Were you inspired by certain artists in particular for this, little baby?
Well, nothing. Try to keep other musicians and other songs it's a tough balance, because like I was saying in one interview, you don't want to go listen to something and go, "Whoa, that riff was cool. I want to write that." But for me, when I hear a new band, or I go see a concert, see a band that I've been seeing for years, and I have this feeling whoa, how that hit me. I felt this certain way, or this emotion, or this excitement. I want to have that in this song or at this moment or at this chorus where I could see a hip hop show and have this feeling on this chorus. All right, well, then when we go write this heavy song, I want to have that, find a way to invoke that emotion or that feeling. So to be inspired by that or scores from certain movies. The last record, Trauma, had a little bit of influence from Interstellar, one of my favorite movies. And this, holds true for this record. Had some influences from outside of music, but where Trauma was very introspective, emotionally charged record, this record is more defiant, more explosive, and just more angry at different points. So with those emotions and those feelings being more forefront, the sound was definitely a little different on this record.
Totally. So when was your last personal true power moment?
Oh, that's a good one. Man. The last one, I honestly, I think, is when we released the record and people started seeing like what we were working on for the last 2 years and these big changes in sonically. But man, I will say Saturday, Brian and I got to throw out the first pitch at the Tigers game, our local baseball team. And that was pretty cool. Crazy that our career got us to that point. I played baseball growing up. I went to college playing baseball on a scholarship, and I got hurt and stopped playing baseball, and then ended up starting Prevail with Steve and Brian. So the fact that it all came full circle to come back and go out and throw the first pitch is pretty wild. I'd say that's probably the last true power moment.
For sure, that sounds like a very true power moment. 100%. So, as you said, like, I think you were you guys, I saw you guys, but you were my last concert pre-pandemic.
Oh, really? Was that?
Yeah, in Frankfurt. Yes.
Yeah, that was our last show.
Yeah, I saw you guys. So you kind of had to fled the country, and you were at home. How did you manage to not be so influenced lyrically and musically by the pandemic? Because a lot of bands in this 2 years process the whole thing, and I don't think you can hear it as much as on True Power. So
I think everyone else was doing it, that we kept a conscious effort to be like, this is low-hanging fruit. When we were writing lyrics, I was constantly checking, making sure we had nothing that said virus or sickness or disease or anything of that nature, because I didn't want a kid to pick up our record 10 years from now and go, oh, this is the record they wrote during the pandemic. Got it. Like, at all. I want this record to be able to stand the test of time. And that goes into different aspects of sonically and musically and everything else in between. But lyrically, to listen to it and not go, oh, they wrote that around that time.
Wonderful. Okay, so it was a conscious decision. Speaking of lyrics, so we Germans, we have our difficulties with abbreviations. So FWYTYK. Does it mean forget what you think you know, or is it fuck what you think you know?
Fuck what you think you know.
So the PG version is forget what you think. Okay, noted. Yeah. Good. So I saw that you guys asked on Instagram your fans what their personal favorite song of the album is. And of course, I want to know what your favorite song of the album is.
That's tough. When we were writing them, it always changes. But when we started rehearsing these songs, certain ones kind of like rose to the top. And we're not playing every single song off this record. So there's a handful that we haven't rehearsed yet. So, who knows? Those could, jump up later. But right now, I'm having the most fun playing probably Judgment Day and self-destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Deep end's pretty close behind.
Mm-hmm. The Judgment Day is my personal favorite too.
Is it really? That's awesome.
It is, and it's followed up by Fake. That's an awesome one too.
That was one for a long time while we were writing it. Fake was on the top of my list for a very long time, and then other songs started coming along together, and then getting excited about other stuff. But Fake's one I hold really close because that was a really fun one to write.
Yeah, I believe. So you've been rehearsing. You said you are going on tour with Here's the Veil and Fit for King in your home country. So, and I think you are still having 3 dates left from the Trauma tour here in Germany in March next year.
I believe so. When we come back, I think we added a couple days just to come back because it's been so long, and to just make it make sense financially for us to be able to come over and travel. But yeah, I'm so excited because that was our longest tour that we had booked, 6 weeks in Europe, and I love traveling. I love touring. I miss that the most I've ever missed anything in my life right now. I just feel like I found what I was meant to do. And so being 3 weeks in and then having to leave really sucks.
Yeah.
So now that it's official, we're coming back. We added a couple shows, I believe. I'm excited. I'm excited to come back, and I'm so thankful for the fans that waited so long and have been patient. And it just, man, I can't explain how much how excited I am for it.
So you're like ending what you began 2 years ago. So but that is kind of in spring, and you're having like a True Power tour in the US, and European summer is famous for its festivals. So are we guys having like just a little spring experience with you, or are you coming back for the summer or in the autumn? What are the plans?
That's tough to say. Right now we have up until the European tour in the books, and then we're working on placing out the next year and a half. And I know we're trying to get back over to Europe. We have no dates yet, but I know we're trying to get back to Europe as soon as possible after. I think we're trying to do Australia in the next year and a half, and some other countries we've never played before that are coming up, and fitting in another US tour in Canada, and trying to go to Mexico. And it's fun. It's tough. It's difficult, but trying to plan out the next year and a half has been, like I said, it's been fun, but a little difficult because, good problems to have. Everyone wants to see you and just don't have enough time. But
hashtag first world problems.
Right.
So if you could choose 3 festivals worldwide, which one would you pick to play?
Oh man, I'm gonna say Rock and Ring, Rock and Park, because we played those both already, and they were probably still some of the best festivals we've ever played. And then I'd probably say Wacken, because we've never played it. I've always grew up seeing videos from it as a kid, being a huge metalhead, watching videos, all these different bands playing it. It looks insane. So, maybe one day we get the chance to play that. And
we have a third one left, because Rock am Ring, Rock and Park kind of counts as one.
Okay. Let's see. There's Download Fest. That was a great one. We played that. I'd love to go back and play that.
That's an excellent choice. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that it might happen in the next year or and a half or 2.
Yeah.
So, you said you miss Germany. What's the thing you miss most about it? I think you guys have been here like 3 weeks, more or less. So I hope that we Germans made a good impression on you.
Oh, so you absolutely did.
Is there something you already like had the chance to miss?
Well, so in high school we had a foreign exchange student. He became one of my good friends, and he lives over. Oh boy, I can't remember off the top of my head what city he lives in. I think he lives near Hamburg. But he came out. We had, I think, going back and forth to different cities, I think we in total had like 4 days in Berlin, maybe 5. He took the train out and came and visited me, and I had one day to explore on my own and walk around. And then the next day he walked me around and showed me all these different things in different areas. And the history and and just what you guys, how your city is, all the little things from like the little gold bricks in the sidewalk in Berlin, to just all these things that I never would, you just would have walked by and would have never known or appreciated. That's really incredible. The food, oh my God, I can't remember the name of it. Oh my, currywurst.
Currywurst, of course.
Love it. Love it. Cannot wait to come back and have it. I honestly, overall, aside from like just seeing the beautiful cities, architecture, and everything in between there, and the food, I think the appreciation for metal that Germans have is second to none. Like, Australia puts up for metal, and they have their own like metal world there, and it's incredible. In the US, metal is kind of still like hasn't had its time to really shine in the last 30 years. But Germany, every time we go over there, like, it's just, it's incredible.
It's in our genes.
Yeah, I love it. It's incredible. And some of the bands that you guys have that come out are insane. The festivals, you just tell it's just got you guys have a deeper appreciation for hard rock, metal, and everything in between. And it's really inspiring. And I wish people over here in the States had that.
Yeah, well, you need to come more often so you can get full of German metal festival appreciation and fan appreciation. So Eric, to kind of end this interview, you said, or I read in your press text, that you want True Power to be your defining album, like for you as a band, as I Prevail. And I would like to know if you had to describe I Prevail in a few words, or even put out a little recipe on what I Prevail is, what would that be? And linked to True Power.
Oh, that's good. By that I meant I want this record to really stand the test of time. And for example, like if you go listen to Ride the Lightning by Metallica, or the Black Record, or Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera, or the older Slipknot records, like you listen to them and they hold up. They still sound, they were supposed to sound pissed. They were supposed to sound aggressive. They were supposed to sound energetic. And 30 years later, they still do, and 20, 30 years later. And for our records, for us as I Prevail with this record, I really hope that happens for us. We were really focused on the writing. We were really focused on the production. We were really focused on pushing boundaries and giving kids and listeners something that they weren't expecting, but they'll come to find that they were severely lacking without it. So for True Power, I hope I'd like to think it's mixture of pushing boundaries, blurring the lines between genres, aggression, power, and just an explosive record, an explosion of sound. How about that?
That sounds like a great stew of I Prevail. Eric, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. It was so lovely to speak to you.
Hey, likewise. This was fun. And I can't remember which cities we're hitting when we come back, but is there which one's closest for you?
I think Oberhausen is closest to me. It's 20 minutes from home.
Oh, beautiful. Well, hopefully we'll see you at Oberhausen.
Of course. Of course.